Rhaenys Targaryen went out with a bang, but here's the thing. Her death is the game changer, and it got me wondering, did she really had to die? Stick around as we break down Rhaenys' courageous last moments, unpack the massive ripple effects on her death, and explore whether this dragon-riding badass could have survived to fight another day. We'll look at how her final choice reflects her character growth, why she decided to face seemingly impossible odds, and how losing such a key player shifted the balance of power between the greens and blacks. So grab your dragon egg and settle in. We're about to soar into all the fiery details behind one of the House of the Dragon's most impactful and heart-wrenching scenes so far. Alright, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of Rhaenys Targaryen final moments and why they mean for the war in House of the Dragon Season 2. Rhaenys' last stand at the Battle of Rook Rest was nothing short of legendary. Picture this, she's leading the charge on her dragon, thinking she's got the upper hand, when suddenly Prince Aemond swoops in on the massive Vhagar, as Rhaenys herself puts in her final moments. Talk about a dragon-sized plot twist. Now, she could have turned tail and fled, but that's not her style. Instead, she chooses to face Vhagar head-on. But why? Well, it's a mix of strategy and personal motivations. Strategically, taking down Vhagar would have been a massive blow to the Greens. Vhagar was their secret weapon, and she knew it. By confronting Aemond, she was gambling on the chance to even the odds in the war. She was putting that wisdom into action. But it was not just about strategy. Remember, she had lost her grandson, Lucerys, to Aemond and Vhagar. There was definitely an element of revenge at play here. Plus, as the queen who never was, she had a point to prove. She was not going to back down from a fight, even against overwhelming odds. Her decision to stay and fight instead of fleeing shows a shift in her character. Throughout the series, we have seen her as a voice of reason, often advocating for caution, but in this moment, she chose action over diplomacy. It's like she finally embraced her inner dragon, if you will. Now, the question that we all have, did she have to die? Well, that's the million dragon question. In terms of the story, well, her death served as a major turning point. It's a huge blow to Rhaenyra's side, both emotionally and strategically. Losing both Rhaenys and Meleys shifted the balance of power significantly in favor of the Greens. But more than that, her sacrifice underscores the brutal reality of this war. It shows that no one, as we know, no matter how wise or powerful, is safe. Her death raised the stakes and sets the stage for even more intense conflicts to come. So while she didn't have to die in the sense that she could have fled, her choice to stay and fight and ultimately fall is what makes this moment so powerful. It's a testament of her character, the courage, and the high stakes of the Dance of the Dragons. Was Rhaenys right to make her last stand, or should she have lived to fight another day? Now, let's talk about the ripple effects of her death on our key players. First off, for Rhaenyra, losing Rhaenys is going to be like losing a mother, trusted advisor, and powerful ally all in one fell swoop. Remember, when Rhaenys warned Rhaenyra, the men of the realm will sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend to the Iron Throne. Without that voice of caution, we might see Rhaenyra making some more, let's say, impulsive decisions. Plus, losing Meleys is a huge hit to Team Black Dragon power. It's like losing your star quarterback right before the big game. Now, let's talk about Daemon. You know, our favorite chaos-loving prince is not going to make this lying down. Her death is likely gonna push him into full-on revenge mode. We might see him taking bigger risks and pushing more aggressive strategies. Remember what he said, dreams do not make us kings, dragon did. Well, now they're losing a crucial dragon, and Daemon might feel the need to compensate with more firepower. On the green side, Aemond probably feeling pretty smug after this victory. Taking down Rhaenys and Meleys is a major feather in his cap, or should I say scale, on his dragon. But let's not forget about Aegon. He nearly became Dragon Barbecue in this battle, and Aemond kinda left him hanging. That's bound to stir some brotherly drama. Now, we cannot forget about Corlys Balerion, Rhaenys' husband. The sea snake just lost his ride or die partner. His reaction could be a game changer. Will he be doubling down on supporting Rhaenyra in memory of his wife, or will grief and anger push him to reconsider, his allegiance? Remember what he said, history does not remember blood, it remembers names. How will he ensure her name and sacrifice are remembered? The ripple effects of her death extend beyond individuals too. The Blacks have lost a major strategic asset which could embolden the Greens to be more aggressive. On the flip side, it might push some fence setters to join Team Black out of sympathy or fear. In the grand scheme of things, her death marks a turning point in the dance of the dragon. It's like the gloves are finally coming off and both sides are realizing just how high the stakes are. We're moving from political maneuvering to an all-out war. Her sacrifice is just a catalyst for this shift. Well, many things have been. But the question that I have, how do you see the different players reacting to this major loss, and how it might change the course of the war going forward? You know that her dad creates a power vacuum in Team Black who's going to step up and fill her shoes as the voice of reason in the court. This could lead to some interesting players and character developments, and even maybe introduce new characters. So yes, keep your eyes peeled for Rising Starks. But, and this is my theory, that we could see Mysaria, the White Worm, step into a more maybe prominent advisory role. Her increased influence could lead to some seriously unexpected twists in the strategy. On the flip side, the Greens might be feeling pretty cocky after this win, but remember, pride comes before a fall. Their victory might make them overconfident, leading to riskier moves down the line. It's classic Dragon of the Dragon. One victory often sows the seeds for future defeat. But also, here's an interesting angle to consider. Her death might actually rally more support for Rhaenyra's cause. Nothing unites people like a hero, right? We might see some fence setters finally picking a side, potentially bringing new allies and new dragons into the story. Dragon seeds, anyone? This could lead to some epic new dragon riders entering the fray, taking up the power once again. And let's not forget about the emotional impact of our characters. Grief, anger, guilt, these emotions are powerful motivators. We're likely to see some major character arcs triggered by Rhaenyra's sacrifice. Will Rhaenyra become more ruthless? Will Daemon thirst for revenge lead him down even? But yes, there are so many questions and I cannot wait to see how this develops. But let's wrap this up by diving into her character arc and why her final stand was such a perfect culmination of her journey. Throughout House of the Dragon, we have seen Rhaenys as the queen who never was, a woman of immense potential who was repeatedly passed over due to her gender. But don't let that fool you into thinking she was just a passive player in this Game of Thrones. From the start, she has been a force to be reckoned with. She was wise, strategic, and not afraid to speak her mind. Remember when she warned Rhaenyra about the danger of claiming the throne? That chair is the most dangerous seat in the realm. That's classic Rhaenys, always seeing the bigger picture. But here's where it gets really interesting. For most of the series, she has been the voice of reason, advocating for diplomacy over conflict. She's seen the destruction of dragons can bring and wanted to avoid it at all costs. So what changed? Well, sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, or in this case, dragon with dragon. Her decision to confront Vhagar was not just a moment of rashness, it was a calculated risk, a recognition that sometimes peace is not an option. This final act of action showcased her journey from a cautious advisor to a warrior queen. She's no longer content to sit on the sidelines. Instead, as we saw, she took an active role in shaping the future of the realm, even if it cost her life. In the end, she may not have worn the crown, but she proved herself every inch queen. Her final moments were not just brave, they were transformative. She went from the queen who never was to the queen who gave her all. So what do you think? Was Rhaenys' character arc satisfying? Did her final stand change your perception of her character? My name is Christian from the Premiere, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.